I have to hold it down?
No.
Okay.
Hi! Okay, so samples, because everybody was asking. I bought everything at Walmart. Mini muffin tin, the liners for it, which came in a pack of 100. And then I bought treat bags to put them in. I bought a special plastic. Yes, thank you, Mimi's. Measuring cup so that way I don't ruin my own. And then the candy making squeeze bottles. This makes my life 10 times easier. So I said I was going to do sunlit morning because that's the new scent of the month. Apparently Haley loves it too much. So I break up an entire bar at one time. Because it makes my life easier. Now all microwaves are different depending on the wattage that they are. So it requires 3 minutes in my microwave to melt an entire bar at one time.
And 3 minutes. I can't wait.
So again, play with yours, see what amount of time it takes.
Can't believe I did this.
Don't mind my 4-year-old. She's my little kitchen helper. You're a goofball. So when it's done melting, you can either let it sit for like a couple seconds so it's not as hot, but then just pour it in here, which be careful because I did 2 bars or 3 bars and I wound up filling this thing and it was too warm to the touch and I wound up actually burning my fingers. That was a major epic fail on my part. Thank you, my little trash can.
Need more?
No, I'm good, thank you.
I go to get more.
Alright, fine, go get me another bar.
Grab more bars.
Thank you, because you're such a Scentsy helper.
Mean sexy and I know it.
Yes, thank you. 'Cause
Thanks.
you're just, oh God, child.
Sexy.
I apologize. My child is overly enthusiastic.
Sexy and I know it.
Alright, enough of that.
Sexy and I know it.
Stop.
Sexy and I know it.
Just be quiet, please. I love you, but.
Word.
And here we go with Mr. Popper's penguins.
Word. Word.
Normally while it's melting, this is when I put the liners in here, but for the sake of the video, I totally did it ahead of time. I always throw the liners away afterwards. I don't really see them as reusable, because pretty much once you pop them out, they don't really want to go back into shape. You can use candy molds. The ones I found were either too deep to where it would be a pain to fill them, or they didn't have a lot of variety, because again, I went to Walmart. Not my favorite place to go.
I love Walmart.
I'm sure you do.
Uh-huh.
It's just because you get treats every time you go.
Yeah. And I want to get something for the machine.
What machine?
The grab.
The grab machine, because you like the machine.
Yeah, because it's grab. Because Walden said that.
Uh-huh.
Is this timer? Did it melt? Did it melt?
Yeah, Mommy shouldn't have stuck her nose like that close.
Can I smell it?
Yeah, in a second. No,
Yes.
not timer.
Timer? Here's the
I always do
timer.
it where it's completely and utterly fully melted and not like letting a chunk of wax still sitting there, so again, normally it's 3 minutes in my microwave. Today it doesn't want to be nice, so again, with different microwaves, you have to play with it. Very small.
That's
Okay. So like I said, you can let it sit for, you know, a couple seconds if you find it too hot to the touch. I always cover it with my finger before I go to pour it, because otherwise I wind up with wax everywhere. Learned that one the hard way. But I just pour as much as I want in each cup. And the first couple ones I always keep my finger over it, just because it will kind of rush out until you get used to it. And I still get wax everywhere.
I love wax. Mom, whites is for like whites for.
Tell them how much you put in there.
I fill it probably, I don't know, maybe a couple centimeters up. It's not, it's probably, I don't know, maybe a fourth of the cup. Some of them I did fill a little bit more when I was first making them. But again, it all depends on you on how much you want to make out of the sample. Because I know some people do thicker samples, other ones do thinner. Personal preference for everything.
Beautiful, Mom. Did you do it by yourself?
So this is a tray of 24. And as you can see, out of one bar, I'm going to get 20 samples. So as you can see, the first ones that I actually poured are starting to harden, while the new ones obviously have just been put in there. So they're starting to set. Sometimes I will leave it so that way all of them set and then put it in the freezer. Otherwise, like what I'm gonna do now is just put the entire tray in my freezer.
In your freezer? What's the freezer, Mom?
And then from there you can let them sit. I generally let them go for 10 minutes just to make sure that when they come out, they're cold enough to where when I first handle them to put them in these bags, just because these are kind of a pain in the butt to handle, because you kind of actually have to, you know, play with it to actually get it to open and then put the sample in there. Plus with the time it takes to actually pop them out, I want them hard enough to where I know I'm not going to wind up warming it too much to where I put fingerprints, whatever, in the wax. So I generally set a timer for 10 minutes. Again, if your freezer's like super uber cold, you can leave them in there shorter. It's all personal preference as per how long you want them in there. But that is how I make samples, and it's the easiest way. Now when it comes to cleaning up, boiling hot water to get the wax out of the cup, and the same with this. Hot water, let it continuously kind of run through it, put the cap on, squeeze it through, so that way then it will clean out the actual nozzle part. Again, hot wax to get rid of it, to get rid of the wax, hot water for that. But that's the easiest way I found to make samples without having to spoon, Dixie cup, use my warmer, because I can do a mass amount at once rather easily. Thank you everyone, and I hope you enjoyed the show.